to the stage, from the players to the playhouses. Everything that we can come up with in Detroit and across the country about theater, we're going to try to bring it to you. Broaden your world, broaden your scope, enhance the culture of the performing arts here in Detroit. And when we talk about performing arts, we're not just talking about getting on stage and acting. We're talking about dancing, we're talking about music, we're talking about writing, we're talking about producing, and today we're even talking about a little comedy included, along with the actress that we have present with us today. Before we get started, though, and get to talking with our guest today, I just want to bring you up to date on some things that are happening in the area of theater in the city of Detroit. Running now through July 6th at the Detroit Repertory Theater is Covenant, starring Jesse Boyd Williams, who we had on a couple of weeks ago. So you get an opportunity. That show runs Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays at the Detroit Rep. So get a chance. If you get a chance, go out and see it. And I just read today there's a play opening up, a play running this weekend at the Northwest Activity Center. You must forgive me, I didn't write down the name. But if you get a chance to go out to the Northwest Activity Center this weekend and see that play, one of the things that I found as a writer, as a director, and sometime producer, and you'll see this in a lot of the films, movies, the actors who are doing very well in movies. A lot of them are comedians. And what you get from a comedian on the stage, and I've always said this, what you get from a comedian on the stage is timing. And one of the most important aspects of doing theater as an actor is timing. The running of the play is all about timing. The drama, the ebb and flow, it's all about timing. And one of the strengths of comedians is timing. And so we're blessed today and very fortunate to have with us an actress who happens to also be a comedian. And so, audience, please join me and Diane, who's with us. Say hello, Diane.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here, especially since Heather is here with us today.
And so, yes, we've got Heather Kyles with us today, actress and comedian.
Yes.
Welcome, Heather, to the show.
Welcome. And as I said, everybody in the beginning of my show, what's going on with
What's
you?
going on with you?
What's going on with you?
Yes.
And so maybe we just let her do her show on this now.
Uh-oh.
But first, before we do that, before we get any of that, let's find out who she is. So, Heather, tell us all about you, especially your theater aspects of your life in theater, and then into being a comedian here in Detroit.
Oh, okay.
What drew you to theater? I got two questions.
Okay.
What drew you to theater, and when did you know you were funny enough to get up and be funny in front of other people?
Ooh, good questions. All right. Well, I started off, I really started doing theater. I've been doing the little productions at school, since I was, a little wee eye in my mama's eyeball, just a little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to high school, and I went to Henry Ford High School, go Trojans. All right, and then I took a drama class with Professor Van Hoos, and I said, oh, this is fun, okay, And then I decided I enjoyed it so much, I ended up doing an after-school program with Mosaic Youth Theater, and they weren't even Mosaic Youth Theater yet. They were grad school students trying something out to see if it would work. And I was with Rick Sperling. Glenda Lewis was also a part of that little ensemble, too.
Wow.
And look at her now.
Right.
So I said, oh, this is it. We did a full-fledged production at the Attic Theater. I don't know if you guys remember the Attic Theater.
Yeah.
They used to be right next door to, what's the fur? Dietrich Fur.
Dietrich Fur, okay.
Over there, off the not too far from here.
Right.
So we rehearsed. That was hard work because I was a senior in high school, trying to graduate, doing everything, and go after school. I would go straight to Western High School to rehearse every night.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun, but I fell in love with it. I thought this is if I could do this,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I knew I wanted to major in that in college.
Okay.
I also knew if I didn't major in that, I was gonna flunk out anyway. So I might as well do it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and that's how I ended up going to Clark Atlanta University in
Okay, you went to
Atlanta.
Clark. I was about to ask you where you went. Clark Atlanta.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
CAU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Panther all
And
day.
your degree is in
Theater and speech communications.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too. Mine is.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
the speech and drama when I was in school. That's ancient history there. So Clark, I did a contest at Clark way back in the day. We're not going to talk about that.
You know, it was only 5 years ago.
So Clark, Atlanta, and you majored in theater. Okay,
Mhm.
well, that's outstanding.
That
That's
was
outstanding.
wonderful. I had some great mentors there. Carol Mitchell Leon,
Mhm.
who at the time was married to Kenny Leon. If you don't know who Kenny Leon is, he produces some of the biggest Broadway productions and everything now. Carol Mitchell Leon, Whitman Mayo, that's Grady from Sanford and Son. He was one of my professors. John Harris, Joan Lewis. I went at a time. It was kind of divine intervention.
Okay.
And I was supposed to be there. We were a small theater group,
Mhm.
but we were like family, and we learned from the best.
Great.
And that's
Great.
just
That HBCU experience.
man, nothing like it. That was
Nothing like
one of
it
the
at all.
best decisions of my life.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
And was it there or before there that the funny bug hit, that you knew that you could actually make people laugh?
I'm gonna tell you, the funny bug did not hit me. I've always been a goofball,
Okay.
but the funny bug did not hit me till I moved back to Detroit. And I decided, I've been doing theater, all aspects for years.
Mhm.
But my mentors always say, hey, make sure you take classes, sharpen your tools, don't get,
Mhm.
keep yourself up, like anything you do. And I saw my friend in LA do some comedy, Tyree Hale. And me and her is silly by nature. If we get around each other, you are going to laugh.
Mhm.
And she moved to LA. She did some comedy. I said, oh, that's cool. And I found out that Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle in Royal Oak holds comedy classes.
Mhm.
I said, oh, that'd be neat to do. Okay, yeah, all right. And then I caught the class, paid for it, first day. Bill Bouchard, he got us on stage day one. Tell me about yourself. You start forming your set the first day.
Mhm.
Even if you ain't did it before in your life, you don't even know you's forming your set, but you're doing it. So after that first day, I said, you get paid money to do this? Oh, I'm all in.
Mhm.
It's all good. I get paid to be me. Let's have it. Let's do it. I'm on here for it.
Okay.
And it's been on and popping ever since. It's 10 years in the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are some of the places that you do your comedy?
I've done Punchline Southfield, Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. What else have I done? This all over. 90s Knowledge Cafe. They have. I'm telling you, these folk be having me traveling everywhere.
Okay.
So I done been, especially my Caucasian persuasion homies.
Mhm.
I've been in Memphis, Michigan, Dexter,
I
Michigan.
didn't know that Memphis, Michigan.
I didn't know it existed. I do now.
I never heard of
I
that.
done been in. I just did a show in Bay City, Michigan. I'm going to Muskegon in August 29th. I done performed in Cleveland and Chicago, and yeah, just
Okay.
branching on out,
Okay.
doing it, just networking and doing it.
Okay. So let's go back after Clark, Atlanta. You moved back to Detroit.
Yep, in 2000.
Okay. What was first in terms of theater?
Or as far as what? What do you mean?
I mean, was there a play? Or was
Well, I moved back home, and of course, it's like almost starting all over again. And I started networking, and I started finding little church plays to get into, and then I met up with some people. I got into a play. Oh my goodness, I can't remember this name. We did it at remember the theater that used to be behind Northland. What's that theater, Diane? Y'all know that
Millennium.
Oh, the
Huh?
Millennium.
The Millennium.
Yeah.
Used to be a real movie theater back in the
Right.
day.
Right,
I
it
saw
was.
Purple Rain there. Ooh, I'm telling my age. So, yeah. Look here. So, yeah, we did a play there. I had a star role. I was playing the devil. Why can I not remember that name? But we was under the director of Bob Williams.
Oh my God.
Yes,
Bob,
rest his soul.
you know I love
Look, Bob, you either love him or, ooh, Lord,
yes.
you want to hang him over the building. He's one of them souls. But I learned so much from that man.
Me too, Heather.
And great director.
Yes.
And right then, that's when I really got back into it. I think I did some little stuff, but then when I did that, I said, okay, because it required us to really to dig into our skills, you know. And Bob wouldn't settle for less. He made you work for your roles, and I was here for it. You know. At first you'd be like, oh, you doing too much, but after a while, after the dust has settled, and you know, we got our pay. Well, some of us got our pay. That's another story.
We could do a story about that.
Look at here, Mr. Douglas. I got some folks in this business who owe me money, but that's okay. You know, you get paid in other ways. It's universe. But yeah, I learned from there, and I did a lot of plays with him, and I've done some plays with Natasha Berry with Berry Good Entertainment. Also, my theater company at the time, Playing Around Theater Company. We did the off-Broadway play in the Continuum. That was an off-Broadway play with Denai Guerrera, who played Michonne on Walking Dead. Her and her friend, I forgot, oh my God, it's been a while. So they wrote a play together about the AIDS epidemic. And it was like two storylines going on at the same time, but how they intertwined. It was a two-woman play. Woo! That play made me sweat. Yeah, that was my first time producing a play.
One or two people you going with.
Yeah, we worked hard on that play, and yeah, and then Very Good Entertainment. We've done a lot of her shows, In My Father's Footsteps. The one that stuck with me the most was Gotta Love You Till I Die. That was a really good one. Where all the women in the play we had Nina Simone, Moms May Bleed, Natasha Berry's grandmother, who was a dance girl for the Apollo Theater. And we all had to do it was all monologues, and I had to do Nina Simone. And I think to this day that was one of the most, I won't say trying, that's the wrong definition, that's the wrong adjective. Challenging, rewarding, learning experiences I've ever had. Okay. Because it was almost spiritual with her. And Nina Simone was mean to me. Her spirit would come in like, no, that's not how you do that. That's not how, you could just hear it, and I could hear her. I'm not kidding. I know people like, turn this off. She talking about spooky ghosts and stuff, but no. But you know, if you're an actor, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I rehearsed and I rehearsed and I rehearsed, and I listened to her music and looked at interviews till it was just coming out of my ears. And tech rehearsals, I sucked. And I can see Miss Berry looking at me, blinking her eyes. That's my friend. When she blink her eyes, she mad, or she like, oh, you know. I was like, don't worry about it. I got it. It's just tech rehearsal jitters. The day of the show, and it was time to go on stage. I swear I heard Miss Simone say, I got this. Let's go.
Okay.
And to me, that was one of my best performances, I think. As far as that, I think I earned doing that on stage. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
It does. It absolutely does. One thing that I want to say, when we did that play with Miss George.
Oh yeah,
That's
mixed.
when I first met you. We did Mixed.
Yes.
That was such an intense performance.
Yes.
The storyline was so amazing, and I just spoke to her about it because I feel like everything that play was about is right now.
Yes.
It's never going to be something that shouldn't be addressed.
Yes.
It's always something that should be addressed, because right now we're in the midst of the same craziness we were in the 60s. So nothing has changed. Like the saying goes, there's nothing new under the sun. It's all been done. It's all
the
been
same. We just adding technology to it. Yeah, look at the magic.
That's it. But the first time I saw you performing that show with me, being in the show,
ma'am. Yes,
that
ma'am.
Being the grandmother,
Did a
that
great
was
job.
such a hard task to take on when you're trying to explain to your granddaughter about racism and she didn't understand why she was different. Wow, that was so empowering. It
Oh
was so
yeah.
impactful.
Oh
Absolutely.
man. We did that a few times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did. We did.
You're watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world, coming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. So if you would, just give us a comment, give us a thumbs up, like us, let your friends and family know about us. We're trying to spread the word about theater in Detroit. The theater industry in Detroit is thriving, and we want to keep it thriving. We want to help it grow. We want to make people aware that it's going on. So again, you're watching Curtain Call on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. And right here, I want to put in a commercial coming July 10th. So you think you can act? Stage presence, intensive acting class, a 6-week class that I will be running along with Kenny Bowles for 6 weeks. Look for the advertisement on it, and so that you can get in and join in 6 weeks intensive, where we'll be working on everything from interpretation, characterization, memorization, movement for both the stage and for film. So watch for that. So you think you can act. Stage presence, intensive theater acting class. Okay, back to you.
Yeah.
Doing Nina Simone, did you have to sing? Do you sing?
Look, I'm not a belter. I think people see me, and I'm like, because I'm a little juice, they think I'm a belt or something. No, I don't get that deep. Now, I'm going to tell you my thing is karaoke, though. I love some karaoke. You get me on there, it's a good time. But I'm not a belter like that, but I can hold a note.
Okay. That's
Transparency, people.
Right.
Heather, you are so funny.
Oh,
you really
thank you,
are.
boo.
But I see this seriousness in your acting. Your delivery is amazing.
Thank
and
you.
As I said before, when you were a part of Dues with me, when you and Nunu did the scene as her mother's best friend.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God, that was so intense.
Oh, yes.
And I still look at it sometimes because I want to see where I can go with this whole thing again. But your presence as Miss Wilson, you were just amazing.
Thank you.
The eye movement, just the holding her and comforting her.
Yes.
It was like a real experience. How did you feel when you were doing that role?
I remember filming it with Lo, and,
Right there in my house.
right in your home, and we were just getting it together. And at first, I was like, okay. I said, where is this gonna come from? And I really, I know me, and even as a comedian, before I go on stage, I get to myself, so I know before where is this gonna come from. And I know always I want to come from a genuine space.
Absolutely.
I don't want it to come. I don't want to be made up. I remember that episode of Good Times from Florida. No, what would trigger me to be that person? What inside of me? What have I experienced? What have I gone through? Because that's all it is. I always tell people, and they was like, what is acting? I said, acting is pretty much being you, but taking those characteristics of that person that you're portraying and intermingling with yourself. You can't be anybody but you. You're going to portray other people, but it's allowing those characteristics, those attributes to take shape with you. And that's how it becomes genuine. And that's what I did.
Yes, you did.
And I watched it. I watched Nunu and I watched everybody. And I said, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. And it made it natural, made it easy.
It was very powerful.
Yeah.
It brought tears to my eyes just watching you.
Oh man, I was watching the trailer like, whoa, this looks great.
I felt the same way because Nunu she could just cry at the drop of a hat. But the emotion was so for real.
Yes.
And then you being like the motherly figure to her. And you guys were the same, pretty much same
I know,
age.
same man.
I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was truly amazing. I have to thank you for that.
No, thank you,
Absolutely.
girl. You done gave me so many opportunities. I am very appreciative.
I'm curious, what it was to play about now?
Dudes.
Dudes.
This is another portion of it. Remember,
Okay.
so what we did was just when the women come to visit, but this was the starting of where Dudes came from. What
Okay.
happened to her, why she became so bitter, why she's so angry, and why she feels like nobody has helped her.
Okay.
because she's felt so alone because her sister didn't believe her when she said she had been violated. And Miss Wilson was her mother's best friend, and when she came to her, she was going into labor having a baby from being raped. And when
That's a completely different story.
no, it's not. It's not a different.
I mean, in
completely-
terms of what, I mean, it sounds like a trilogy.
Well, what it is just a continuance of where she came from.
Okay.
What all this came from, where she came from, the pain, the hurt, the disappointment,
Okay.
the thing that she felt like nobody really did anything for her, but she didn't realize nobody does anything alone. You know that, Mr. Douglas. Even when you're writing, you get the best actors to play those roles. So nobody stands alone. Any story that you tell, there's somebody over here that helps with that story move to the next level. And so that's where Heather came in. She was the mother's friend who helped her through having a baby. This kid had a baby. Nobody at school knew. She was wrapped up, bound up, all this kind of stuff. But Heather was the voice of reasoning. I'll help you.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm your mother's friend for 30 years.
Yeah.
I can't let you fall by the wayside.
Okay.
So that's where.
Okay, I need to see that aspect of it.
You do.
I haven't. I know the piece that we worked on.
Yeah.
And,
Well, we only worked on the part where they came to visit her. That was
Okay.
it. Oh, and by the way, Heather, Mr. Douglas is an amazing director,
Is that
writer.
right?
Oh my God, yes, because he came on board with me to do Dues in 2019 at the Victor
Aretha.
Franklin Cafe.
Okay.
We only had so much that we could do, but he brought the best out. He
Nice.
brought the best out. He really did.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
I love
And
it.
you learn a lot when you're doing pieces that involve actual historical characters and that sort of thing. And
Facts.
I met an amazing group of talented people here in Detroit that I did not know existed at the time.
Absolutely.
And so that was a lot of fun. So you guys have history.
We got
Yeah,
a little
we do.
history.
Yeah,
Yes, we do. And that's one of the reasons when you said, get some of your people, first person I thought about, I said, gotta get
Yeah.
her on. Gotta get her on.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was doing comedy until a couple of months ago.
Oh, okay.
When I saw that she was booking and doing all, I was like, what? As serious as she acts? Oh my God. But then you're so funny just in natural conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just love her. I
Oh,
just love
thank
her
you,
presence.
Bo.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
the
compliments,
flatter
folks,
and the
don't just-
compliments. That'll get you somewhere around.
It sure will. It'll get you everywhere.
But you know, when you got that kind of talent, it's nothing else to be said, but the excellence is there.
Oh, thank you.
That's it.
Appreciate that.
Yes,
Look
so-
at y'all. I paid them good, y'all did.
Yeah.
Hey.
So from and beyond that, what other shows have you done of note or
I'ma
that
tell you-
think is worthy of telling us about today?
I'm gonna tell you, I have always been scared to do musicals. Because usually when you see musicals, everybody, you know, they go on in. So I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself because I did do a musical. I did Mosaic Theater. For a while, they were, I don't know if they still do, they would do a play over the summer. And they would ask the alumni to come and audition and be a part of it. And they decided to do Pearly Victorious one year. And I don't know if y'all know Pearly
Heard of the
Victorious.
music. I was in the musical.
Oh my goodness, such a fun play to do.
Yeah, I
It's
was
so
in-
fun.
I actually was in Pearly, the musical, and I actually directed Pearly Victorious, the play.
Okay, yeah, I did Pearly. Excuse
Right,
me.
Okay.
And Rick Sperling called. He said, "I want you to be a part of it. You want to do it?" I said, "Sure, I don't know. Yeah, y'all not paying. I don't know. Well, I said, "Well, where are y'all doing it at?" He said, "The Detroit Film Theater in the DIA." I said, "Yep, I'll do it." Because I've never performed. I'm a sucker for theaters I haven't performed in yet.
Okay.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'll do it. That was another one where I worked my patoodles off. Because I hadn't done a musical, so I was just practicing my songs and practicing. Oh, my goodness. But it ended up being phenomenal. It ended up working out so beautiful. So it was adults in it. It was the Mosaic U kids was in it. It was a really big cast. And we did phenomenal. It was a sold-out show every night. So it just,
I love that musical.
I did too.
My favorite song was first thing Monday morning.
Yeah.
That's more than one way of skinning a cat. I love that too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Oh, phew, that was a fun play to do.
Yeah.
It's been a while. What was the name of my role? I was the kind of like the auntie role. What was her name?
Missy.
I think I was Missy.
Missy.
Yep, I was Missy. It's been a while. Excuse me, y'all. Sometimes I had to look.
Gitlo's wife.
Yeah, I was Gitlo's wife,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, we had a good time doing that play. Hard work, but it was worth every moment.
Yeah. Who was Lodi Bell Gussie Mae Jenkins?
What is her name? They had, for a while it was weird. They had 2 full casts, and just people just start dropping off like flies. And we just had 1 cast after a while. The one chick, she could sing, and you would not think she could sing. You just didn't see it in her face, none. What was her name? I know y'all know her. What is she still doing her thing? I'm gonna move on. But I know whoever you were, and we did Pearly together, you got down. You got down. What was her name? I'm gonna be laying down. I'm like, that's her name. You know how I be like.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great cast. Everybody had phenomenal voices. It made me train my voice. I was performing in the shower, in the bed, outside, in the car. I wasn't playing. I got serious about that role.
Who played Pearly?
Who played Pearl? Was that? It's been a while. Just a duck.
I'm curious.
that
I mean,
was 10 years ago.
if that talent's still around, I'd like to reach out
I don't
to
even
him.
remember. I got at the grocery store yesterday, so. No, but yeah, it was. Everybody was on their A game in that play. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look at my archives and see the program. I know I got it somewhere and see who played who. But everybody did a phenomenal job. Yeah, I felt professional then. And I feel like I did Mosaic proud.
We've had Mosaic on.
Yes.
We've had Mosaic on here, and I went to see one of their shows about a month ago.
Yeah.
All Hell. Yeah, that they did over at the Detroit Film.
Yeah,
Did
they
you
don't
see
play.
Crossing 8 Mile, Mr. Douglas?
No.
Oh man, that was several years ago, but that was my first time ever seeing the Mosaic Theater.
Okay.
And when I saw that play, I couldn't.
I'm not sure. I've seen
It
some
was
Mosaic
phenomenal.
plays.
It was
Did I
phenomenal.
see that?
What that was
What's the
about.
name of it? It was fabulous. It
I
was
might have seen that one.
One
I've
of the
seen a
best
number
plays
of
I've
Mosaic
seen,
shows.
Young kids, and it was just amazing.
Yep.
So you were pre-Mosaic.
I sure was. I was like one of the first groups.
Okay.
Pretty much the first group. Like they weren't even Mosaic yet.
Okay.
But they decided to, try it out. And then they got partnered up with the Attic Theater. And it's been on and popping ever since.
Yeah, and I think they're one of the premier groups
Yes, they are.
for training young people in theater and music in the city.
I think it's a great program.
It is.
I do. I said, a lot of people say, oh, they're super strict. I said, no, they don't play with these kids because they want them to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. And Clark, we did so many plays. My mentor loved doing August Wilson plays. We did all of his plays. We
Oh,
did.
and Clark?
Yes, Lord. Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Radio Golf. We did it all. 2 Trains running because I think she was a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
So we did, we did all kinds of stuff. So many plays, musicals. And after that, I moved to Charlotte. And then I worked as a mascot for the Atlanta Braves Stadium for a little while. That was a lot of fun.
You too.
That was crazy. I did audition for that. Because they had to make sure you could survive in them little suits. Them suits be hot.
Costumes, right.
Because you ain't got no air conditioning, them things. And you out in that 100-degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
But
Been there,
yeah.
done that too.
How long
Yeah.
did you do that?
I did that for a year. I did it for a season, and then I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina. I ended up working at Paramount Carowinds. You know how you go to the shows at certain times at the amusement park? I did one of those shows. I auditioned for that. And I got that in a strange way. I was going to audition for Disney. Disney had open calls.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't look like Ariel the Mermaid, and you don't look like Tarzan, then you ain't getting that job. So, but this country girl was in there. She's like, I work for this place called Paramount Carowinds, and it's so nice, and they treat you good, and they're having auditions next week. I said, okay. So I went, And they called me about 2 weeks later, said, "Hey, you want to come work for us?" I said, "Oh, sure do." And then I moved to Charlotte for a year. That was a lot of fun too.
Okay.
That was a fun job, and I did some theater there with Bare Bones Theater, and then I moved back home, and then all the other stuff I just told you about happened, and then comedy came around, and woof.
And what about this new thing I saw on Facebook today, the movie?
Oh
That's coming out
yeah.
August 1st.
I am.
Before we get into the movie, hold that.
Go
thought
ahead.
right
I'm
there.
here. I'm
You're
here
watching
for
Curtain Call on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world, streaming to you live right now on YouTube and Facebook. So please give us a like, tell your family and friends, watch us every Monday at 5 o'clock, and you can see the reruns of these streaming all throughout the week on Facebook and YouTube. So please watch us. Tell your family and friends. Join us on Curtain Call on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world.
Ow.
Now,
Yeah.
what was the question?
He's gonna be in a movie.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is actually a comedy series.
Okay.
Oh,
and
it's a series.
It's a series.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
Okay.
And it's called The Agency. Now it's a
Okay.
serious show called The Agency, but that's something else.
Yeah, that's on Paramount.
Yeah, one of
Hulu,
them.
one of those.
One of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they getting paid the big bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Now this one I'm working with this film project. It's really cool. We did this. We filmed this summer before last. Yeah. So yeah, it's really cool. We did the first season. We've been promoting it. We just got wind. We're gonna be on Tubi August 1st.
Okay.
Yep.
Now tell us what the agency is.
It's basically a story about a talent agency, and they having troubles. They about to go out of business pretty much. They're trying to figure out how to keep their stuff going. They say, "Oh, we need something. We need somebody." That's where I come in. My role is Ophelia Sparks. I am a has-been actress, reality star.
Oh,
I'm from Detroit, but I moved to LA. I did movies and scary horror films, all that stuff. And I was married. Me and my husband had a reality show. Then we got divorced, all kinds of mess. And then my stuff started, people wouldn't call me no more. And I got a little chunky and nobody wanted to book me. And I just, but I'm still Ophelia Sparks.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to move back home. That was for one reason. But also my mother is getting sick. She's getting Alzheimer's, dementia. So,
Okay.
and I had to come take care of her. So, but in the meantime, they called me in to help save their talent agency. So I'm helping them, and they helping me revive my career, and I'm helping them keep their career.
Okay.
So it's so fun. It's one of those deadpan shows like The Office or something like Community, Parks and Rec type deal.
Okay.
It's like Abbott Elementary. How they look in the screen. They break that
that fourth wall.
that fourth wall. You looking, it's like that. It's
Okay.
like that. So I love my role. I get to be greasy and funny and wear my afro, and I'm happy. I love it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yep.
Is it 30-minute series?
I think each episode is about 30 minutes. I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we did about 8 shows.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's usually.
So August 1st, check it out.
Oh, I
On
planned.
Tubi.
Yes.
When I saw that commercial, I was like, what?
Yes.
I thought it was a movie.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to know it's a series.
Yes. Everybody that was a part of it did a great job. Everyone on that in that staff is just doing their thing. I mean, this ain't no side thing. And then after a while you do so
Where
many
was it
shows.
Where was it filmed?
It was filmed mostly in Farmington.
Okay.
Excuse me, Ferndale.
So was the film locally?
No, it was. Well, kind of. Ferndale ain't nowhere. That's up the street.
That's what I'm saying, locally. But
Yeah.
I mean Greater Detroit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did film at the Russell Industrial as well.
Okay.
So we filmed there. We filmed in Ferndale at the studio. It's a audio studio over there off Ferndale, off 9 Mile and Woodward. Not far from there.
Okay.
And pretty much that was most of the filming that we did. Those 2 spots.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is this a mixed cast?
Which mean ethnic
Yes,
wise?
ethnic wise.
A little bit.
Okay.
Less of us though.
Okay.
But yeah, but it was just fun. I mean, watching it, you didn't feel like that. One of the writers, she was in it. She's African American.
Okay.
And me, and there was another young man who was African American. He plays like the jock, the kind of, buffy guy. He's real cool too. But it is we got a little combo meal in there. I loved it. Everybody did a great job. Can't wait for y'all to see it. It's fun. So
I can't wait either.
August 1st.
August 1st
on Tubi.
Yeah. August 1st, that's the agency, August 1st on Tubi,
Yes.
featuring Heather Cows. Okay, we're going to plug everything we can plug in it.
I know you better come on with it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I also have this new underwear line. No,
Oh.
just kidding.
Okay, a comedian in the house, you
Yes,
guys.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
a comedian in the
definitely
house.
funny.
So what else is coming up?
Right now I'm pretty chill. I got some things in the work. I've been working on a couple of scripts. I'll talk to you about that afterwards. I'll be in Muskegon August 29th. And I know that seems far away, but that comes up so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody said, oh, you ain't got nothing going on. I said, just give it a week. Because I always get calls like, hey, Heather, you want to do a show? I sure do. Because to me, it's all practice.
Absolutely.
Everything is practice. So, but I'm everywhere. You'll catch. I'll be at Punchline, like Baker's, Keyboard Lounge. They have open mics on Monday. New Way Bar in Ferndale. Just stay busy. They're everywhere. Planet or the Independent in Hamtramck, where the Planet Ant Theater is housed.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of comedy there. That's a good place to go see some comedy.
Mm-hmm. I admire comedians so much because they're able to get up there and tell their jokes and be funny.
Yeah.
All by yourself. No, just you and the audience. And either if you're not funny, you're gonna bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this great admiration for comedians. I tried my hand at comedy one time.
Okay.
One time, I was at a club, and they had open mic to come up and try your hand at comedy. Mr. V's Figure 8. Do you remember Mr. V's Figure 8?
Where's that at?
In Atlanta.
Oh, in Atlanta.
Mr. V's Figure 8. And I was in Atlanta at Mr. V's Figure 8. I said, I'm going to go up here because, I can be funny if I can tell. I couldn't tell jokes. I'm not a joke kind of person. I'm more of a storytelling kind of comedian. Would have been that type.
Okay.
And I go up and start telling the story, and nothing's funny.
Okay.
And so I got booed off in about 2 minutes. Because if you don't come with a joke right off the bat, you're not going to last long. And I wasn't telling jokes. I was telling a funny story.
Yeah.
Didn't work. So that was it for me. I'm not never doing that again.
I told everybody that want to do comedy, I said, you got 10? We're like 10 or 15 seconds. 10
or 15 seconds.
If that, and even that's long if you ain't funny, to make people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And I, it's as an actor, it's hard to watch movies or watch plays now because you've seen it from an actor's perspective. Same with comedy. And to me, comedy is acting still.
Right, exactly.
It is.
It's like doing a one-person show every night.
That's what I was just saying. It's
the same. To me, it's the same.
It is.
I got a buddy. He's a phenomenal comic, and he's a great writer. And I said, that's where your money gonna be. Because just come up with stuff. But he's one of those guys that he come off right off rip. I'm like, oh my goodness, this. Some people just got the knack. And I watched so many comics. I'm like, oh my God, they got this whole audience in the palm of their hands. Same with theater, how you portray it. And you could have if you get them at, it's you could take them. You can just like a wine. You can take them wherever you want them to go. They're gonna go on that journey with you, and that's pretty much what it is.
Right.
And I
That's
love
why
seeing it.
Yeah, that's why I say I admire comedians because they can do that one person show get up there and hold people's attention, make them laugh, make them cry. For
They sure can.
30 minutes, 45 minutes, however long. That's something absolutely amazing to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't do that.
It's not. I don't see it being easy because my church had a comedy show last week Saturday, and Mike Larry was our.
Oh my, yeah.
He is hilarious.
I love me some Mike
As soon
Larry.
as he walk up on the stage, he starts off and everybody's like falling out.
Oh yeah. Oh
He is
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah. He's been doing it for a while.
I know.
Since I started, a lot of people I watched them since their beginning, or some people started before me, and just watch everyone's growth is so awesome to me. Yeah, I love it. I was like,
And so you
wow.
said on Monday nights you go to
Bakers.
and they have comedy.
Yeah.
They have Oh
Yeah.
my. Okay. Well,
Oh yeah.
that's close to my
Didn't
neighborhood.
realize that
I didn't
comedy
know
at
they had
Baker's. Didn't
comedy
know
Every
that.
Monday.
Is
Yeah.
that right?
Every Monday.
hear that, people?
Just anybody can come.
Comedy
Yeah.
comedy shows at Baker's on Mondays. From
Yeah.
what time to what?
It starts about 8, and then it ends about maybe about 11,
8 to
11:30.
11 on Mondays at Baker's. Comedy.
Yeah, yep. And you got Fago Red who hosted.
Okay.
You know, we had Kool-Aid. I don't remember if you guys
I
remember
remember
the
Kool-Aid.
Rest His Soul.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. Oh my goodness. Nobody could host that show but him.
Okay.
And then when he went on to Glory, they was trying to find people to do it, and it just wasn't meshing. No, we love you, but no, you ain't it. But Fago Red is doing his thing. I gotta give him some. He's doing a great job as a host.
Okay. I'm not familiar with
I'm not
Fago
familiar.
Red.
Yeah, he a young cat, but he been in the game for a little minute too.
Okay.
But yeah, come check it out on Mondays. That's a good place to go hang out.
Mhm.
I hang in the bar area, not because of the libations per se, but to me that's where the real person. That's where the real comedy is. Cause it's like to me it's like a little family reunion in that little area. I call it a piano bar. So
That's
yeah.
what it looks like.
Yeah. So yep. And then down the street in Ferndale, you got New Way Bar. You could go down there and watch new up and coming comics or seasoned comics. Do they get their practice? Yep, free y'all, free to get in. And then the other way you got look at me, I got
Tell us about them. That's
Office-
what we want to do.
the Office
Enlighten
Ultra
our audience
Yep.
about what's going on in Detroit.
Yes, oh my goodness. Yeah, and I remember when I started out, it was only certain nights they would have a comedy night here. You had to wait a few more days. Not anymore. Almost every night you can go to a comedy spot and watch comics, be on stage if you want to practice some material you've been working on, or
Mm-hmm.
and everybody got a show now. So yeah, so almost every night you can do some comedy. But yeah, down on the other way on Living Noise, you got the Office Ultra Lounge with Alton Boogie Williams. I don't know if you guys know Boogie Williams. He's another phenomenal comic.
Really?
Oh my God, yes,
Okay.
he's very funny. But yeah, he likes to DJ too. So, but if you ever catch Boogie Williams, go see him do a show.
Okay.
He has punchline like I said, and where else does everybody else go? Let's go. Oh, High Society on Thursdays with Coco.
Where's
Okay.
that at?
That's on Livernois. You gotta
Really?
go further down, kind of near I guess between Davison and is that the Grand River? I might be around in there, but it's called High Society. Nice bar, black owned,
Okay.
nice, art decked out, very nice.
High society.
If
Okay.
you had a place that you really wanted to go to and do your comedy, where would that be?
One of my favorite places to do comedy.
Not necessarily your favorite place, but for you to feel like you have reached kind of the goal where you want to go, where would you perform at? Would it be here in Michigan? Would it be somewhere else?
Well, I love doing comedy here because that's where I started. I like doing comedy at Mark Ridley's. That's a cool spot. I know what's funny. The places that I've worked with so many different production companies. There's certain places that I like. Like I remember we used to do a spot with this group called Knuckleheads Comedy, and there used to be a bar called The Nail. It still exists, but they moved down the street. But the place, I liked that bar because it was kind of a hole in the wall, but it stayed packed, and they were here for comedy, and I love that camaraderie, and that's fun. I know I just did a headlining gig in Grand Rapids with Ambrosia Theater, that's James Brown Jr. And New World Comedy, that's Shantae Paul and David Jones. That's a hustling couple. You hear me? And I came out headline for the Mother's Day weekend. That was a lot of fun. I like performing on that stage. Yeah, just professional. They do it right. They do it right. They take care of everybody.
Okay. You're watching Curtain Call on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. Streaming to you live on Facebook and YouTube. So please, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. Call if you like. Check us out every Monday at 5 o'clock from 5 to 5:50 on Wjzz Cool TV. You're watching Curtain Call, bringing you theater and all about theater on Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest TV station in the world. And one more time, next week I'm going to have more information on So You Think You Can Act. Stage presence, the 6-week intensive workshop on how to act for the stage and for film. Okay, so look out for that. That's coming up. Okay, so your very first time doing comedy, the first time on stage, you in the audience, did you kill it or did you bomb?
I did good. And you can see it too. You can see it on YouTube.
Okay.
You can see it on YouTube.
Okay.
This is when we did the I told you I took the class with Mark Ridley's comedy, and it was after our weeks of being in the thing, you have to do a showcase, so you can invite all your friends and family to this. This was really cool, and I think I did pretty doggone good for my first show. I was like, okay, now have I bombed? Heck yeah. Have I had somebody say get off the stage? Yep, I didn't have that happen. I think some people think once you get to say you ain't gonna never do bad. Even some of our seasoned comics have bad days. It's life be life. But I don't know. I think I love theater. Something with comedy. I have enjoyed this journey. I think I'm taking the scenic route in it. I do not care. Wherever this leads me, thank you, God. But it's been leading to me some awesome places I never thought I would be a part of or be involved in or know the people I know. I was talking to Mike Bonner one day. We were sitting at Baker's. And I said, Mike, what's funny? We cool now and stuff. I said, I remember being at Clark Atlanta in the dorms. And my best friend from New York, she bought all her VHS tapes. Yes, I did say VHS tapes. She bought all her Def Comedy Jam VHS tapes from New York. And I would stay up till like 3 or 4 in the morning just watching it. And I was watching him and Coco and Tommy Chung and all them. But even then, I did not know I was doing comedy. I was going to do comedy then. I just enjoyed it. I said, I just think this is the coolest thing that these people on this stage telling jokes and the audience is with them. I swear, you can ask my roommate. I called her down New York. She be like, yeah, she was there at 3 or 4 in the morning watching this. But it was awesome. I love that. I love that
Def Comedy Jam was the bomb.
It was the bomb because it was nothing like it.
Right.
Nothing.
It was so funny.
And the talent was so raw.
So new. And it was
raw.
us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
And it was us.
And telling our stories.
And
it was
telling
so
our stories.
funny.
And I was here for it. And I'm still here for it because I do it now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So what's coming up is Muskegon.
Yep, I got Muskegon in
29th.
August. Let's see. Somebody else didn't ask me if I was thinking about doing a show. But look, I'm open. I'm open for bookings.
Okay. So
I do birthdays. I do bar mitzvahs. I did a couple of repasses, baby showers. Yes, I'm here for it. Let's go have some fun.
Okay. Any theater coming up?
No theater. That's so funny. Me and my friends were just talking about that. Natasha Berry. We was like, girl, it's time for us to do another play. So we're in the works of doing that now.
Okay,
So
we're gonna get Natasha
Natasha
with the R in there.
I call her T. That's my friend. That's my friend.
We're gonna get her on soon. So it's been a pleasure and a joy sitting here talking with you for the past few minutes and finding out your guys' history and information about dudes that I didn't know about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mr. Douglas, I think that the community that we come from is a special community.
It is.
Because the talent that we have just all across Detroit, Michigan.
Mhm.
So many people don't even know of the talent.
Mm-hmm.
And so, really, this is a good format for people to see the people that are out here doing it that nobody
Absolutely.
knows anything about.
Absolutely.
It's such a joy to me because acting has been such a great part of my life.
I know,
I started
same here.
acting at 8 years old.
Right, right.
You know, and so well, I can even say before then because I used to watch the Mickey Mouse Club.
I did too.
And I danced on top of the TV.
Come
had my
on,
legs
Diane.
curled.
Telling your age.
That's honey, I'm 75.
Come
I'm
on.
grateful I'm still.
Look, I was watching the scene episode from the scene and the new dad show. Look at
I
here.
saw a show last week from the scene and the new
Okay.
dance show. I was cracking up.
Oh, man.
Funny.
Okay, so guys, it's been great, and I know we're
thank
gonna
you.
keep talking after we get off
We
the
sure
air.
will.
But it's our time is up, and we want to thank you again for
Oh,
coming.
thank you
and
for
being a part of
inviting
this show.
me. Anytime, anytime.
Glad to have met you and know that you're an actress here in Detroit that's available. And so, again, thank you for watching Curtain Call, and we will see you next week when our guest will be. I'll tell you then. All right. Thank you and good night.
Good night.